Last time on Drag... Sorry about that. In my last video on John's Hobby Room, Goku and Frieza faced off. But after sustaining major damage from a mysterious youth, he reformed himself to become even stronger than before, and unleashed a brand new form to his mortal enemy, Black Frieza. How will Goku defeat this fearsome foe? Will he use his latest Ultra Instinct form he used on Gas? Will he get a costume change? And would you be so kind to drop a like, comment, and subscribe? Let's find out. First, I had to take him apart. The original Goku figure has a tied sash, which doesn't match his latest look. Luckily, I had an extra sash in my parts bin that seemed to fit on the figure, but wouldn't fit on the pants peg. So I pulled out the Dremel and sanded off the entire inside of the belt. Then I went ahead and primed the entire figure. I decided the original face sculpt ain't gonna cut it and needed something a little bit more fierce. Here's where this head sculpt comes in. This is from a Maximalic Ultra Instinct Goku, which is pretty much the same size as the original head, but it needed a little work to fit on a neck peg. I sanded down a little bit of the neck, and then dremeled out the internals of the head. Once I double checked that everything fit, we were good to go, and it's time to paint. I started off with the skin with some flat flesh and dark flesh for the base coat. While I was at it, I painted in his eyebrows. Then I moved on to the gi. Orange takes a lot of layers to get solid coverage, especially while coloring the symbols on his shirt. So, while I do this, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. If you know me, I'm a pretty private guy. After all, that's why you only see my hands for most of my videos. But no matter how careful we are, big companies we interact with are getting hacked every single day. Our information ends up on the dark web, and scammers, spammers, and identity thieves are using it to target us. That's why it's up to us to protect ourselves, and that's where Aura, today's sponsor, comes in. What does Aura do? Aura makes online security effortless by handling the hard work for you. Aura finds and removes your personal data from sketchy data broker sites. They also keep an eye on the dark web 24/7 and alert you if your data is leaked. And if someone's trying to use your info for fraud, you'll know right away. Aura provides a built-in VPN for private and secure browsing, banking, and shopping with real-time malware protection to scan for viruses, ransomware, and spyware. And even has parental controls to keep your kids safe online by filtering harmful sites, apps, and setting screen time limits. Give Aura a couple weeks and you'll start seeing less spam, fewer scam calls, and better online privacy. Oh, and here's the best part. Aura backs you with up to $5 million in identity theft insurance just in case the worst happens. Most VPNs just protect your connection. Aura does that and so much more. Try it for free. Head over to aura.com/hobbyroom and get 14 days free to see if your data has been exposed. It takes minutes to set up but could save you from years of headaches. Stay safe online with Aura. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring today's video. After about 5 coats of orange, I painted the blue undershirt with the dark blue. His sash and his wristbands are actually a slightly different color than his shirt, so I painted them with a different blue and black mix. Then, to match his Dragon Ball Super manga colors, I painted his laces in a golden yellow and painted the lines on his boots red. And filled in the blue of his boots with the same color as his shirt. Moving on to the first layer of highlights, I dry brushed brighter tones on all of the base coat colors, on all of the raised and flat sections of his musculature and his clothing. For the second layer of highlights, particularly on the harder edges of the clothing folds, I dry brushed a paler tone to help emulate the light of an aura, though I think I like this look enough that I might use this technique on non-transformed characters in the future. Moving on to the finer details, I painted the base coat of the eye using some gunmetal, which will give the outline of the eye a bit of a metallic tone. I filled in the interior of the eye with some silver, and painted in the black pupil and a little reflection with some white. Then it was time to fill in all the line work. I used brown panel liners on all the facial lines to give it the highest impact. Then I used some pink brown panel liners on the rest of the skin to add some extra texture and some impact. Then I went back to brown panel liners on the laces of his boots to help bring out those sculpt lines. Then I neatened up any line work and cleaned up all the overspill using some enamel thinner. The new sash I painted didn't exactly sit on the clothing seams just right, so in order to force it to fit, I heated up the sash with a heat gun to make it flexible, and sandwiched it in between the shirt and pants with as much force as possible to eliminate as many gaps as I could. I didn't quite get everything, so I filled in the remaining gaps with some plastic putty, blended it in, and color matched the pants and the belt off screen. Next, I sealed off all the paint with a matte clear coat. Knowing that I wanted to give some extra emphasis on the eyes, I hand painted on some glossy varnish on his pupils and a metallic shiny gloss on his eyebrows to match the original glossy hair sculpt. With that out of the way, all that was left to do was to put him back together. Here's the final result. I'm glad I replaced the original head with a real Ultra Instinct head, as I thought the original face sort of looked like garbage. The Ultra Instinct hair sculpt looks great, and I left the original hair color alone because it has some cool blue hues in there that I'm not sure I can replicate by hand. I prefer the black haired Ultra Instinct over the silver hair anyway. Which do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Of course, big thank you to all my members. You can join my YouTube membership for $2 a month, where you can get live updates of whatever project I'm working on, and some member-only polls that can help influence certain content on the channel. But most importantly, you'll be helping me out directly. You can also find links to everything I use in the video in the description. Check out my other projects and figure reviews on my channel, and if you liked my work, subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell so you know when my next video is going to drop. Thanks for watching. See you next time.